Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Untitled Wrestling Podcast. It is me, your boy, Big Tasty. Let's see how the YouTube auto subtitles mangle that one.
Spotify's been doing that as well. It's been so funny.
It's almost like AI is a terrible idea, isn't it? And we shouldn't be using it. Anyhow, I'm here to talk about wrestling with, as always, Jay. How's it going, Jay?
Hello. I've lost my voice from.
It's that way.
Well, it might be even a different way when it renders out. Who knows?
I don't fucking know.
I think you actually got it right the first time. My voice is a little bit shot because I was booing Scott Oldman a lot last night.
As is tradition. I'm here with Faye. That's definitely there. So
you're pointing at Ollie on my screen.
This is like Celebrity Squares, except no one knows where they are.
I'll point at Faye.
What's even worse is that I'm top right for me, so you both just pointed wrong, and I'm just like, no, I'm not there.
What is happening?
It's almost like this is a terrible idea.
We are once again joined by sort of semi-official podcast member now, because he's been on it long enough. Ollie, how's it going, Ollie?
Doing good. Equally, my voice is a little raw from last night's wrestling.
See, Ollie, you told us one time that you went to an AEW show, and now here you are.
Yeah, that's what happens.
Non-stop.
It is entirely your fault.
Yeah.
So Double or Nothing was a show that happened. Took place on, was it Sunday?
Sunday.
It was Sunday.
Especially like living in Liverpool, it feels like it's been about 9 weeks since like the weekend.
It really does. It really does.
And it's been like actually like 3 days since like the parade and all the weird shit that happened around there.
Yeah.
But that felt like that's been the longest like 3 days of my entire life. Speaking of long, this show, did you see? You see, I think it was Wrestling Observer. Like their first like headline review was the show was too long, and it's like, is that what you're leading with?
I think people have
been. That was bad.
Like, it's been 5 years now. This has been an AEW consistent. And to be fair, AEW shows are getting shorter. Like, there was only, 11 matches total, when there's usually, 14 or 15?
This isn't going to sound like praise, but it actually is. I was in my bed by 5:30.
I was going to say, remember, one of the Double or Nothings, didn't end till, about 6-ish.
I mean, it was light when I went to bed, but still.
So when we had All Out, right? Remember the Adam Cole, Bryan Danielson debut? That didn't finish till 6. And then I went in the office for 8 o'clock.
Incredible.
The joys of being a UK wrestling fan.
Me and Ben went out for that, went back to mine, and somehow was still awake for it.
Yeah. Just
Jay,
riding
I woke
the adrenaline.
up at 6 o'clock on Monday morning.
How?
But if you compare,
I didn't sleep.
If you compare these shows, though, you look down that card and it is banger after banger after banger for fucking 4.5 hours straight.
There's no ad breaks. There's no ad breaks at all.
It is 4.5 hours of the main show with an hour on the pre-show of just fantastic wrestling. If you're into star ratings, no match on this card was lower than a 4-star. This was a hell of a pay-per-view from them. Maybe 3.5 at the lowest, but there is no below good wrestling match on this show, I don't think.
Yeah, no. I will say that about AEW every time, though, to be fair.
I feel like this specific pay-per-view felt more like a kind of similar to the original Double or Nothing, which was a bit of a variety show, a little something for everyone. I feel like this is the closest they've kind of got to that vibe since God knows when.
I'd like to hold my hand up and say, as a designated enjoyer of tag team wrestling, I am fucking starving right now in AEW.
But you had 3 tag matches on this card.
Yeah, but they were all tripe flavored.
Don't you enjoy the Sons of Texas?
No.
Don't you enjoy AEW original Sammy Guevara and his Panda t-shirt?
Stop trying to make Sammy Guevara happen. Anyway, we can loop back around to that. Speaking of actual fun tag team wrestling, let's talk very briefly about the pre-show. Started. I really enjoyed. Speaking of the women's tag division. I think that's the growth industry. That's what we should be putting all of our resources into. We should be nurturing this.
It was women's tag titles.
Yeah.
The tag team division died when the best friends broke up, in my eyes. So let's just fuck that off.
It's your fault, Tasty, though.
I keep making tag teams. So Ollie, every year we do like an award show, and we always do predictions for what's going to happen in the next year. 2 years ago, I said that Proud and Powerful were going to win the tag titles. They broke up, and then last year I said the Best Friends were going to win the tag titles, and they broke up. Who did I curse this year? I think it's Top Flight.
It was Top. It was Top Flight.
I mean, they have been so injured for the past 3 years. They're already cursed. You cannot curse those lads anymore.
Tasty will try his best.
So if Top Flight break up this year, it's my fault.
Why couldn't you say Sons of Texas?
Because then if I do, it'll happen, and it'll be the one time I get it right. Anyway, so speaking of women's tag action, we started out Anna Jay and Harley Cameron versus Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford. I mean, this was just really good.
Jay, I am here for it.
Yeah. I'm into Anna Jay and Harley Cameron's ass-based antics.
They did a rematch of this as well on Dynamite, but no DQ, and it was very fun.
Oh, nice.
Ooh, I haven't watched Dynamite yet.
I mean, what is not a tradition at this point than banger AEW women's tag team hardcore matches? That is somehow their tradition of putting on hardcore women's wrestling tag matches.
Penelope Ford and Anna Jay being like the sort of low-key goats of the women's hardcore division.
Yeah.
Penelope Ford's so good, isn't she?
I was gonna say in that match, actually, Harley Cameron was like the MVP of it.
Oh, fair.
She definitely broke her face.
I think it might literally legit broke her nose on like a Megan Bayne just huffing her into the fucking steel steps.
Yeah, she just face planted onto the steel steps and then like got up and like had like blood all like
nose has exploded.
And then he tried to like give her a towel and she went fuck off and then just like immediately
hang on. Have WWE tried to complain to like the network to get them banned?
Too much blood. Yeah. Too much blood.
Even Anna Jay got busted open as well, off a ring post or something.
Nice.
No, when Megan Bayne did her thingy onto the steel chair, not at the F5.
Yes,
the Fate's Descent.
That's the one.
But I love Penelope Ford so much, though.
She's great.
Like,
I'm so glad she's back because she was out for so long, and like it got to a point where you're like, is she just done? Like, are we just never going to see her again? And then she just came back and is now having a great time. And it's really, as I was saying to Sarah, this is like Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford as a tag team. It's like Joey Janela's worst nightmare.
Yeah.
he did tweet something about it. Like, I think he was saying, like, is this a rib or something like that?
They're a fantastic team.
Apparently he was backstage at Double or Nothing. So,
why are they both as actors or something?
No, so he's Megan Bayne is his current. He's currently still with Megan.
He's currently with Megan Bayne, but Penelope, as Booker T would call it, is ex.
That's why she's super bad, because when AEW first started, her and Joey were together, and he was the bad boy, obviously. And then they broke up, and she started dating Kip Sabian, and so he
was super bad. Kip Sabian.
Well, they had like a little feud over like Kip Sabian stole his girlfriend, basically made it into a storyline, and so they became super bad because they were badder than Joey.
Oh, nice, love that.
Yeah,
but like me and Jay were talking about this last night when we were at Atomic. Like AEW has easily got like 6 or 7 women's tag teams.
Yeah,
and like could easily form another couple more. That you have a solid women's tag team right there if they wanted to do it.
Yeah, I think they could probably put together a better women's tag roster than they could a men's at this point.
Yeah, I think they already have like a pretty solid women's tag division with like the teams like they've already established. Like you've got like the Vendetta who are just there doing nothing. It's like they're both really good. You should probably use them more. Sky Blue and Julia, Willow and Chris when they finally like get back together.
Yeah, make out. Sorry.
They were teasing Aminata and Serena Deeb, which could be interesting.
Yes. Yeah.
And also
you've got the 4 that were in that tag match, plus Tay's coming back. So you might end up seeing Tay and Anna Jay back together. And
let's get Shayna and Marina as well.
Harley can go with Mercedes, as is destined. She's destined to.
Or as me and Jay were talking about, Harley and Nyla. Fucking perfect comedy act.
Oh, yeah.
That would be gold. Absolute gold.
Give me that.
Yeah, and then we need Marina and Shayna Baszler, please. Just for me.
If Shayna Baszler ends up in AEW, even for like a little bit, like I don't think if I can get Warhammer
Fucking
Like,
Ronda Rousey turned up to an RH show for Marina Shafir, so I reckon Baszler's gonna fall
Yeah.
right in there.
but if I can get Warhammer costumes in AEW, then that's my life complete. That's fine.
Claudio
Hair and Claudio.
Claudio, yep.
That's it. That's all we need. Kip hasn't done
Uh,
Warhammer because he's a coward.
I was gonna say get Kip to just dress as like a little slutty commissar.
Yeah.
He's a slutty orc. It's fine.
Father just shaking his head because he doesn't understand.
Asking
you
Christian
winning?
for money for Warhammer. Like, no, Dad, I told you it's 50 quid now.
Are you winning, son? That's what I was going to say to him.
So again, correct me if I'm wrong, but Harley Cameron got the win here.
Harley got the win
Yeah.
by hitting a finishing move on
called the finishing move.
Yeah.
On Penelope, yeah, well, because Anna and Megan were like brawling like down the ramp when it happened.
Yeah. The thing is, as well, how good did Penelope's gear look with Megan's as well? It was great.
Yeah,
Love that.
I like that she's kind of like leaning more into like that sort of like Megasis like look now.
Yeah.
Right then. Next up. I'm sorry, go on.
I was gonna say that's a good. Like I think that's showing signs of a good tag division when you got your tag teams actually fucking looking like they work together, not just two random dudes.
Yeah.
Families on the street.
You want to hear about random dudes? We got random dudes.
We do have random dudes.
We've got the team of you're all vaguely lucha coded, so it's Bandido, AR Fox, and Los Titanes del Air, basically the Titans of the Air. I speak Spanish, which is Hologram and Commander. And this entrance was so cool. I love how like they all sort of like waited, and then like Hologram's entrance hit, and he did his whole like the loading screen, and everything came up, and then it was really cool. Alex
and Bandido came out looking awesome.
Bandido's music fucks. It goes so hard. It's so good. And they were up against Roppongi Vice, which is Rocky Romero, Trent Beretta, and Crew, Action Andretti, and Leo. Someone needs to do something about Crew's clothes. Like, fuck me. How could they? Surely nowhere makes those jackets, really. Like,
I don't know, but Action Andretti's got the most little bro energy I've ever seen.
Yeah, I know.
Like literally, it's like Leo's just told him that's what he's wearing. He's like, fine. I'm cutting the sleeves off though. I can't do the sleeves.
Oh, it was so upsetting. But this match was great, and AR Fox is very quickly becoming one of the like most over undercard guys in AEW. I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like every time he gets in the ring, just like huge pops. I think a lot of people buy into it. One, he's really, really good in the ring, and two, he seems to be like a really nice, humble dude.
Yeah.
Although I did see people like asking him on social media when he come over to the UK, and I was like, oh.
Why can't he go over to the UK?
So he fucked up the first All In. He was meant to be Christian's partner.
Yep, against
Swerve's partner.
Swerve's partner against Darby, but he basically forgot or didn't tell AEW that he didn't have like a passport or something.
It wasn't it that he's been in prison
or something like that. He basically couldn't travel to the UK, and he didn't tell AEW that he couldn't until like 2 days before the show. So they were like, that's why he just disappeared for like 6 months because he had like mad heat backstage.
Yeah.
Allegedly. So yeah, don't ask if AR Fox can come to the UK because he probably doesn't want to talk about it.
Which is a shame.
Wow.
So yeah, that's why we got to see Swerve and Christy, which is mad because they then took that match, which shouldn't have even been a match that happened, and they tied it into Christy challenging Swerve for the title.
Yeah.
And it absolutely catapulted everything like for Swerve as well, that match.
Yeah, which was mad. It's a match that shouldn't have actually happened that ended up becoming like really important in like the lineage of the AEW title, which is great.
Well, that's what Swerve said, didn't he? He's like, I got given this opportunity because I'm always there, like to do whichever, like if someone needs me to step up and be like that, I will. And
if someone needs me to take a pin and lie down for 3 seconds, Alistair.
Yeah.
How's that Miz view treating you? Anyway, we don't talk about that. But no, this match was great. I forgot how it ended because I was eating snacks at the time.
Bandido hit a 21 plex on Andretti.
I mean, Andretti took the pin. All is right with the world.
Andretti was like bleeding from his eyes as well somehow.
He got busted open the hard way.
He saw his own jacket.
Yeah.
Wasn't it the ring post?
I honestly can't remember.
Something like that.
Let's say yeah. I can't remember.
Yeah. Onto the show proper then. Oh, one of the matches we did say might open the show. And we got it right. Well, a lot of us thought it was going to be Speedball and Kazu, but obviously they saved that for a bit later, but we also thought it might have been this one. So this was Mercedes Moné versus Jamie Hayter. Jesus fucking Christ!
Oh, Jamie's so good, isn't she?
Can we all start properly respecting Mercedes now? Because she's been on a tear for like almost a year.
Mercedes is on like another level at the moment. Like I genuinely don't think, not just like women's wrestling, I don't think there's many better wrestlers full stop on the planet right now.
It's like, because I think it all started to really click around like the Chris Statlander matches, didn't it? That's when it started to like lock in, and it's almost like she read like a load of horrible internet comments.
I don't know. I think the Shida match, the Shida match at All Out was when she had like a real axe to grind after the Brit match. I think that Brit match, as much as it was like fucking terrible, regardless of who was to blame or whatever, I think that for Mercedes was kind of like the kick up the arse that she needed, because it was the first time since she's like left WWE where she's like actually got criticized for something that's not just people being dickheads, like where it's like, oh yeah, you had a bad match, and she had to kind of like
defend herself.
I was gonna say not own it up to it, but like kind of like prove a lot of doubters wrong after it, and like prove that she is as good as she says she is. And I think she's like not only.
I don't think the Shida match did that for me though. I think it.
No, but that was the start of it.
Yeah, it was better, but I think the Statlander match did it for me.
At risk of sounding like a little bit condescending, and I don't mean this in a condescending. Hopefully, it doesn't come across that way. Because like I always felt like I had to like slightly over defend her matches a bit, because there were so many bad faith arguments saying that she was shit and she was washed, and it got to like the Shida match wasn't great. It was good, but I didn't think it was great. Yeah. But it wasn't until the Statlander match it was like, oh no, she's fucking fine. Like she's good. She's found her feet. She knows how to wrestle. She's always been a wrestler.
At that point, it just felt like she only seems to have, at that point with like the Shida match and stuff like that, in my head I was like, does she only have really good matches in New Japan? Like, that's what it felt like.
Yeah, because we had the Willow match in New Japan initially, didn't we, where she hurt
herself. Yeah, but then the Willow match she had in AEW and the Stephanie Vaquer match she had in AEW were both excellent. As I say, I feel like that Brit match was like kind of like a bit of a bump in the road. And obviously, the Shida match was important because I felt like it was her getting her confidence back after that match.
To be fair, that Brit match probably ruined Brit's chances of signing with WWE, because apparently at one point she was like, I think WWE just watching my matches to see who to sign.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, that's what Mercedes actually said. She said, I'm pretty sure WWE just watching my matches to see what women to sign.
Oh, Mercedes did that,
yeah. Oh, yeah, not Brit. No one's no.
Ouch.
This was a banger's way to open the show.
Like, it was, I mean, let's talk about the match. The match was fucking great. Yeah. I loved how the story of the match as well was like Hayter knew she only needed like one Hater to win, so it was all about Mercedes having to like dodge it and avoid it and work smart the whole time.
Yeah, it was very much like Mercedes' whole thing was trying to like play it smart, not like play outsmart and Jamie essentially. So Jamie was just going in with like the raw power, and Mercedes was like, shit, I'm gonna have to outthink her here, otherwise she's gonna just get me.
And then the finish, Mercedes dodges another Haterade attempt, drops Jamie fully on her head.
That was horrifying. Nasty.
I swear to God, if that wasn't intentional, that should be they should make it her new fucking finisher, because it was like a fucking hammerlock DDT into a fucking small package. It was the most brutal thing. Like,
I think we had to replay that, didn't we, Jay? Like when we were watching it.
Yeah. So it's on Fightful. It says inside cradle driver, so it is a real move. Whether I'll give Mercedes the benefit of the doubt, because it felt like it was definitely part of the like catching Jamie by surprise sort of thing of it. And it was more impactful than just a roll-up, which I feel like to take out someone like Jamie Hayter, you kind of need something like that.
Yeah, definitely.
But
that needs to be a new finish. Like, if they can make that a regular move, I'm all fucking in for it. Especially as you going up against Toni Storm, who has the fucking big package as her finisher. Mercedes has her own version, but it's a driver on your face.
I feel like that's why it might have been intentional as well. Because they've done so much.
Big stacks or something like that, like something money related. Like,
I didn't. To be honest, I like the fact that it was just kind of like done as if it looked like it was just a complete fluke that she'd hit it.
Yeah.
But
she ran straight out of that ring and was like,
Yeah.
"Oh my god!"
Yeah.
But it looked brutal.
Thankfully, she didn't run to hide in the toilets after.
But I think Mercedes did great. And I think, like you say, Ollie,
Mhm.
the ending really sold like how like out of nowhere and desperation like based that win was. It was cool. Mercedes sold it really well facially as well. She looked like absolutely relieved. Like
I think as well the way that was obviously because it did feel like it just like slipped through Jamie's fingers. I feel like again that's probably by design because it feels like now Jamie could then dethrone Mercedes for the TBS title.
yeah.
Well, like the follow-up, obviously, for Dynamite from this, like you had the ending promo battle between Tony and Mercedes, which if you haven't seen, go watch because it is a stonker of the
Incredible.
two of them.
So like I know a lot of people were upset that Jamie didn't win, and they were like, "But Mercedes and Tony, we do need to do that match. That's why we need to
how
do that
can you
match."
not? It's the biggest women's money match
And
going.
that's why it's happening at All In because
Yeah.
But like
That
again,
one promo was
Yeah. like you could see both Tony and Mercedes getting emotional in that promo. If you watch the main event, it's stonking. But the Jamie follow-up, which is going to be fucking interesting, is
Sure is.
Thekla came and beat the shit out of Jamie Hayter.
Yeah.
On Dynamite. So that's Thekla's first introduction into AEW is battering Jamie.
I just do Jamie vs Tekla at All In. Fuck it.
Yeah.
I saw like today as well. Like Mina tweeted at Thekla like, "I can't believe you follow me here." To which Thekla's like, "Yeah, I'll batter you as well." It's like, okay, yeah, this is great.
It was a triple threat between those three having a fucking Japanese stardom, strong style, just battering the fuck out of each other.
I used to love those Jamie matches where like she'd face like someone who is in stardom and it'd be like, right, we're just gonna fucking beat the shit out of each other for like 15 minutes.
That Jamie
like,
match with Sakura was incredible.
Yeah.
Like
to be fair, Sakura and Mercedes was a very good match as well.
Yeah.
Also, before we move on, shout out to the match length as well, just over 21 minutes. So if you haven't considered that Mercedes has made a significant like boost, given a significant boost to the women's division, like tell me the last time that women's matches were going 21 minutes on pay-per-view cards for AEW.
Yeah.
Because it's only happened since Mercedes came in, to be honest. And it's great to see it because give the women more time. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Next up, then we had a tag match. FTR versus Danny Garcia and Nigel McGuinness. I was kind of in two, like, not two minds about this, but like on the one hand, FTR just, although I'm enjoying the heel work more than the face work, they're not the freshest tag team in the world, are they? In terms of their in-ring offering, it's beginning to wear a little thin for me over the course of the last couple of years. But every time that Nigel McGuinness wrestles now feels like an absolute blessing and a freebie, doesn't it? So.
I love seeing Danny and Nigel together as well. I think they're great.
As we said as well, there's a lovely like little thing here if that Nigel now gets to be the mentor to his arch enemy's like protege, which he never got a chance to sort of do anything with.
That's what I need more of.
I am liking Stokely with FTR. Like the three of them do just feel like they really fit together well. Like because obviously FTR can cut an impassioned promo and can be dicks, but just having Stokely there as like the heater for them is just Stokely's just the best. Like you can pair Stokely with anybody and it's great, but I think it just really works well. Like having that style of manager with FTR to really ham it up.
Yeah, he's got that sort of like almost oblivious like dickheadedness, hasn't he, about him that just works with because FTR are like they're so like in the moment, they're so like aware of themselves and their surroundings, and Stokely's just so like blinders on, just head down straight, Yeah, which is
in work.
It's a really good contrast. Match was really fun. Like I say, FTR they're a weird tag team because they've kind of done everything in AEW, and there's not really an awful lot left for them to explore. But yeah, I suppose it's still fun to see them do the thing. They're technically great. They just don't like spark joy in me watching them. That's my only concern. And that's a stupid thing to say, but they just like they're almost like too precise and too practiced. You know what I mean? It's just like I don't know. It's
like another FTR match, isn't it?
Yeah, like, I think I've just got the fucking PTSD from the 30-minute FTR main events in the Punk Collision era.
Well, I mean, you're going to be getting a presumably Cope and Christian versus FTR at some point soon, right?
Yeah, I still don't know how they're going to do that.
I did love though how they ended up doing the whole like Danny eating the pin while Nigel couldn't reach him.
Well, he passed out in the sharpshooter, didn't he?
Yeah, it was just
like Montreal. Wait, no, that did not happen that way. Never mind.
But yeah,
also,
like
shout out to FTR for having like the desaturated gear and entrance as well, with like all the color taken out of it. That was pretty cool. That's like a nice,
like the blackout type thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, match was fine.
Yeah.
Daniel Garcia did well. I think it's always nice to see Nigel. And Cash hit a Tara London off the apron, which was hilarious.
It was a war crime.
Yeah, I do feel like at some point we're going to need Tony Schiavone to slap Stokely.
Yes.
That's where we're going, isn't it? Stokely was like squaring up to him.
Do Tony versus Stokely, and the loser has to kiss the winner's foot or something like that. That wouldn't be a bad
Something
idea.
Weird.
Do you think FTR and Stokely gets a faction out of this?
Oh, well, again,
who would you
pinnacle.
put?
I don't know. I'm just thinking because
MJF, Wardlow, and we get that Sean Spears guy from NXT looks pretty good.
Can they get Ethan Page back from NXT? Do like that?
Good.
Do that mercenaries thing he was doing? I don't know.
Where's Dan Lambert when you need him?
I feel like I'm trying to think who's like not really doing anything who would be like a good fit for stuff. Like off the top of my head,
Scorpio Sky.
I was gonna say off the top of my head, someone who'd be like a perfect fit for him would be Max Caster.
But he's already doing stuff. That he's over, man. He's fine.
Or even Ricochet.
Anthony Bowens might be in trouble. Like, his gimmick is not landing.
Like Ricochet did say he's looking like to go back to Dynamite. Ricochet is looking for a quote unquote crew to back him up.
Ricochet's basically said he's going to make a faction with him and Crew, which is like.
I hope it's a swerve. Like I hope it's kind of like the Crew are going down. Like of course you've obviously chosen us, and then it's not. It's some other big bruisers of a tag team that just beat the shit out of them.
Or something.
Yeah, exactly that. Like
that'd be quite good, to be fair.
Yeah, because like Ricochet and the Gates of Agony, that would work, you know.
Yeah.
What, Ricochet being a shit house, and then there's two massive fellas in front of him.
Yeah.
While he's there stabbing people with scissors, like.
Well, speaking of Ricochet and speaking of scissors, the next matchup was Ricochet and Mark Briscoe in a stretcher match. Remember when we were like, is Mark Briscoe going to bleed? The question was, how much is Mark Briscoe going to bleed?
Yeah.
And the answer was yes.
I think he's the only man. The only man who's ever gone inside an ambulance and started bleeding more.
He thought that he needed to donate blood. Don't worry about it.
Did you see that picture of Ricochet in the ambulance after the match though, where he was like sat like next to the stretcher and it was just like covered in blood. It was like,
oh no,
it was really good. It was really good. It was like an actual like photo shoot picture that they took.
Oh nice.
But it was just like fucking hell. That's all Mark's.
I saw there was a picture of like the ramp, like the entrance ramp, and it was just the pair of scissors and then a pool of Mark's blood next to it.
Yeah, I like the fact that they built the whole thing though around like obviously Ricochet trying to use the scissors and then Mark just like outsmarting him, and every time Mark was looking like he was gonna get like the upper hand, Ricochet just like completely shitbag it and just like run away. But yeah, Mark Briscoe looked like he was in a fucking car accident after this match.
Yeah. It was great. I loved the. I know we all knew it was coming, but I loved like the fake out with the first ambulance trip, and he puts the crutch in the door to stop it. That was great. Ricochet nearly got into a legit fight with a fan who had like a sign like right by the ambulance, and he was like having a proper back and forth with him, then ripped the sign up at the end. It was great. Ricochet is just like in a world of wrestling in 2025, when a lot of heels want to be cool. Ricochet is just I want to be the biggest dickhead in the entire universe.
Yeah. Again, it kind of reminds me of the Mercedes thing a bit, where like obviously she got to a point where she had a point to prove because people were like just shit talking her that much, whereas Ricochet's like people are shit talking him that much that he's just like, I'm just going to embrace this and become exactly what you're accusing me of being, and he's just like the biggest dickhead now. It's fantastic.
Yeah, really
it's
fun.
Like Trent does though, isn't it? Like he does a similar thing.
Who Trench? Trench's gone.
Trent.
there ain't no Trench and there never was.
Still waiting for those chicken nuggets.
With Mexican sensation Parker Boudreaux.
Yeah.
Right, moving on then. Hurt Syndicate, Bobby and Shelton with MVP and MJF taking on the Sons of Texas, Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara. This was the shortest match on the card, and I'm not saying it was
For
the
good
worst
reason.
match, but it was just a bit of it was there.
So when I was watching this, me and Pete turned to each other and were just like, after the match, we're like, it was actually like better than I thought it was going to be.
It was fine. Yeah,
it was okay.
It did what it needed to
Dustin.
do. It told the story. It sowed the seeds, didn't it, of MJF being like a bit of a disruptor in the group. He's he's gonna have issues down the line. He was trying to get Bobby to take the ring. He wouldn't. It nearly cost them. He's not quite gelled. There's going to be friction there. There's probably going to be Cedric Alexander there at some point.
There was that really good bit where so MJF was trying to give Bobby the ring, and then Bobby just speared Dustin through the fucking barricade.
Yeah.
And then him and MJF hugged, and as they're like walking back to the corner, Sammy's about to do a dive on them, and Shelton just from nowhere just pops up and like he missed it, but it still looked awesome. Where like he just like popped up and hit that knee on Sammy, and just did like another one in the corner. It was just like, yeah, Shelton's just a killer.
I don't want this to sound like I'm down on the Hurt Syndicate, because in these matches they're not like 5-star technical masterpieces, but there's a bit in every match where Bobby Lashley just kills people, and it's like, yeah, this is great.
Yeah.
And then Shelton Benjamin hits the most deadliest looking super kick in the fucking world. Like,
yes,
no one else can do the move as deadly as Shelton Benjamin makes that move look.
Yeah, Shelton, that needed to build up to it as well in the corner, and then like Sammy just staggering out and just like thrust kicking him. It was like, yep, he's dead.
Like, and like when people like say the super kick's like one of the most overused moves right now, like when Benjamin does it, it is a finisher again. Like, it is a legitimate, he will kick your head off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like to say that this was essentially like, I don't know, like one of the, I'm gonna say the worst match on the card, make it sound like it was a bad match, but like one of the not as good matches on the card. Like, if this is if this is the low point of a pay-per-view, then yeah.
You're doing all right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
We say this about AEW like so often, don't we, when it comes to pay-per-views, where we're like, the worst match was still a good match.
The worst match would be like a banger Dynamite main event.
Yeah. Literally.
One thing I will ask though is like, what do you see as the next real? Because like, I don't feel like any team that's really challenged the Hurt Syndicate has been a real, they could take the titles. Like, who do you think that team is gonna be for the Hurt Syndicate? Because I don't think it's happened yet.
Blythe.
Gotta be Hounds of Hell, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's gotta be. Like, just Brody King's like on another fucking level at the moment as well. When Buddy's back, he's Buddy Murphy. Buddy Matthews, he's fucking excellent. I feel like they're like gonna, and also because they are such like they are like kind of like a complement of the Hurt Syndicate. Like, they've got the Destroyer and Brody, and you've got like the other big guy who can move really fast in Buddy and Shelton, and it's like, yeah, they're kind of like, or probably the closest the Hurt Syndicate has to like a mirror image of their sort of style in AEW. So I feel like they're probably who are going to take him. When that happens, who knows? Because whenever Buddy's back, I guess. But that would make.
I think for now you could certainly throw them in a feud with Top Flight or.
Well, haven't they already done Top Flight?
They murdered Top Flight on Dynamite a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
You could even. The thing is, right, is that I really want Kenny and Swerve to still be a tag team, so just throw them in together. Be fine.
Yeah, it worked last time with Kenny and Hanger. That was great. So
I'm sure Hangman will be absolutely fine about that.
Yeah, it's so fine. Totally okay.
He won't start like drinking again after that.
I mean, if he drinks, it's Will's fault.
Right, moving on. We'll have for the Continental Championship, Kazuchika Okada versus Speedball Mike Bailey. Mike Bailey with the beautiful Blatro gear.
Yeah,
this was crazy good.
This was unreal. This was such a good match. For anyone who doubts like that whether a card is like locked in or not, you put him in a match with someone like Mike Bailey and ask that question again.
There's still people doubting Okada.
Yeah, because Okada like still wrestles sort of his Japan schedule of like he'll have like one banger match like every like couple of weeks, and that's fine because he's fucking Kazuchika Okada.
I don't know if you saw on social media, Mike Bailey tweeted a clip of Kenny and Okada and said that was his favorite match of all time that he's ever watched. and to like be in the ring with Okada and to have a match that was anywhere near that was like a dream come true for him.
Oh,
And there was some really cool spots as well. Like Okada, like gave so much to Bailey in that match to make him feel like a big deal. Like all the stuff where Bailey was just kicking the shit out of him and going like he managed to hit ultimate weapon on him at one point. And then that finish was just so well timed.
That a drop kick, Jesus Christ, it was brutal.
We've been banging this drum for like a year now. Okada has the best drop kick in wrestling. It's not even close.
The fact though that like Okada was like not on his hands and knees, but he was like bent over, wasn't he? And he waited for the second speedball started to do the flip before he got up and then to hit the drop kick. Like the actual speed of that was insane.
And that Rainmaker was an actual crime.
Yeah. There was like a lot of really good reversals to the Rainmaker from Speedball as well. Like there was really weird sunset flip he did where like he like straight jacketed the Okada's arms and then Okada like tried to roll out. So then he went back and straight jacketed his legs with his legs as well. And I thought like the near fall on that, I was like, oh fuck, Speedball stole us here.
In the end, all it took was just one Rainmaker.
Just one.
Just one.
They are building that up, so when he hits it on a Kenny at All In, people are going to go mental thinking he's beat him. But like,
what if they give Okada the one-wing ninja kicker?
He's got the rope break already.
What if he kicks out clean on two?
There's only two people who have kicked out of the one-winged angel: Kota Ibushi and Laredo Kid.
Laredo Kid.
3 people, Mad Kurt.
3.1
Don't forget about Mad Kurt.
No, from Kenny Omega.
Still counting Mad Kurt, he deserves that.
Kurt does deserve that, but he also didn't take it from Kenny.
Right then, moving on, we'll have Timeless Tony Storm versus Marina Shirakawa for the Women's World Championship. Considering how quickly they put this match together, I was surprised by how invested I was in it.
I think because obviously the history that we already knew it was there, and they really played into that. And then the fact that Mina went from like the whole, oh yeah, I'm made up to see my friend, to I'm going to break your fucking leg.
It did escalate.
It did escalate very quickly.
I just think the girls just keep winning. Like we just keep getting what we want, and it's smooches between Tony Storm and Mina.
So obviously Tony picks up the win here. My favorite bit of I love the whole match. I thought the match was great. One of my favorite little details was after the match, Mina was like really like upset with what she'd done. She was like kissing Tony's knee because she like spent the whole match trying to like hurt it, and it was like, oh, that's really sweet.
That going back to women's tag division, that would be a team I'd like to see in the women's tag division.
I would be absolutely
if they don't reunite Club Venus. But I don't know, Mariah might be off somewhere else. But yeah, I think this, like, as far as momentum goes, like Tony and Mercedes is like, it's the perfect time to do it. Yeah. Like, I don't think they're going to get any hotter than they are right now.
They're both like, you said they're both like absolutely scorching hot. Like they're both like they've got these mad win streaks. They're both like champions. It feels like the biggest. I mean, with respect to the men's match, this feels like the biggest match in AEW at the moment.
Tony Storm has been like I want to say the main star of AEW like this last year. Yeah. Like the feud of Mariah. Like Tony has just been it, and like it is astounding that there hasn't been a women's match, a title match that's main evented a pay-per-view in AEW yet. Like,
if there was ever time to do one.
Yeah, well, there was. It was the last Tony versus Mariah match that literally had the end on the fucking end of the match.
Yeah. If there was ever another time to do one.
Yeah.
The best time to do it was Tony versus Mariah. The second best time is now.
Yeah.
I still think it'll be Hanger and Mox that closes all in, annoyingly. But
if they are going with Hanger versus Mox to close, to spoil obviously what the outcome of the match later, Hanger's got to win.
Yeah.
You can't. That it's a discussion point for later. But yeah, if it's not going to be Tony versus Mercedes main eventing, they are still like. It is the next biggest match on that card.
Mm-hmm. Also, while we're on the topic of Tony versus Mina, shout out to the fact that Luther was dressed as Dutch from Red Dead Redemption. because that made me really happy to see Luther probably thinking about picking mangoes in Tahiti.
Yeah, it was a hell of a match.
Tony looked like a saloon girl as well, didn't she?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think this has really settled Mina in well as well to AEW. I think it's really sort of like it's established. It's given the fans a good idea what she's about. Obviously, we've seen her before, but this was her first big thing as like an official member of the roster, and it was really great to see her in a match like this. And I'm not going to harp on match lengths, but I think AEW, as they've tended to do, they've got all their match lengths pretty spot on this card. The two big ones were the two big ones, which you'd expect and you'd want, and then all the others. There's one coming up that I'll talk about that I was very concerned when I forgot that it was still to come, and then it did a very good job of getting it out and doing what it needed to do. But first, we've got to talk about Anarchy in the Arena. If not for the main event, would probably be my match of the night. Jesus fucking Christ. This was just half an hour of pure fun.
You could say it was Anarchy.
Anarchy. We had, just go through some of the little things at the start. We had Swerve come out as dressed as a Predator, which was...
Oh, it was so good.
Yeah. We had Kenny as sort of weak got Captain America at home.
Wasn't that what he wore in the previous...
Similar, yeah. He did a similar thing, yeah.
Yeah, and the other Anarchy in the arena he was in.
Samoa Joe just didn't come out so that he could like surprise murder somebody.
That was amazing. That was so good because it was like
Sarah was like, "Joe, why is Joe not here?" And it was like, "Well, Hobbs and Shibata don't seem bothered."
He was so concerned.
It was the fact
he was like, "Mox has got him. He's got him." I was like, "He hasn't." I was like, "He definitely hasn't."
It was the fact that Claudio was like stood like in the box because he's been doing that entrance coming down the stairs, and then Joe just popped up behind him and was like, started trying to choke him. It was like, "Get him!"
I loved the Young Bucks. Sorry, the Founding Fathers fucking
Hamilton.
Entrance. It was just the most over the top in the best way. And I hope I hope they just go by the Founding Fathers now. It just suits them so much in this current kind of like
the Mount Rushmore thing on the Tron as well.
Fucking fantastic.
So
they gave Justin Roberts like the sort of, he had like yellowed paper.
Yeah, like a fucking scroll. Did the fucking off. Abe speech.
It was incredible. And then the sort of the marching, like the flute music, the panpipes, and then that turns, and then like, so obviously the joke is always like, what music is gonna loop over the start of Anarchy in the Arena? Like it's been Moxie's music. It was Wild Thing originally, then it was Final Countdown last year to the financial detriment of the Young Bucks apparently. And then this year, so Kenny gets on the mic. He wants to change the music, and they change it to "I'm so excited."
Yeah, first he doesn't get on the mic. He just kind of does that, and does the cut the change the music sort of thing, and they change it to "I'm so excited."
Swerve's face.
Yeah, Kenny and Swerve look really confused. And they go, "Yeah, okay, it works."
Well, I think if it was the fact that Kenny was like, "All right, this works," and Swerve's like, "I guess," and like, but the crowd got into it. The crowd that were there got into it. The fact that this was Dynamite's fucking theme song for all of like a week or two, they
it's
complained.
So funny though, because it's like Kenny had spent all night watching AMVs from like the early 2000s, and like that's what happened.
I did enjoy like while it was still the Pointer Sisters, it kept like cutting back to Joe, just like throwing Claudio into various things. And then going back to like Mox, like stabbing like Hobbs with a fork.
I was going to say at one point the Pointer Sisters were playing, and it just cut to like Wheeler getting killed by like 3 people in the corner. It was just like, this is incredible.
But like Kenny then grabbed the mic, and as Faye was alluding to, went full on fucking early 2000s.
Yeah,
asked for alt rock when it's not. It's fucking new metal. At least get your genres right.
Come on, Kenny.
And we got Bodies from fucking Drowning Pool playing, and I've never seen a crowd actually more excited for fucking music.
Like, I've never seen a crowd more excited for Drowning Pool.
Yeah,
like legitimately, like the crowd started doing a mosh pit at the back of the fucking arena at one point. Like everyone was on their feet, banging their heads. Like, oh my! I literally got off the couch. Was like, holy shit! Like,
Kenny was doing a sing along with the one person in the crowd
who didn't know the words. I love this. Did you see that shot of Nana? That was reaction where he just
the crowd just fucking bouncing.
Yeah. Oh, so good.
Nana was reliving early 2000s Ring of Honor.
He was.
So like when Swerve timed it perfectly to do his dive out of the dive out of the ring, and then did a massive scream. You had Willow screaming. You had like so many of them like trying to time jumps off of shit to when like when the beat drops and bodies for the first time. Like Yuta being thrown off by like, oh my god, like if you ever want
Mox
someone
still just stabbing Hobbs with a fork.
like if you're like trying to introduce someone to AEW and what makes AEW different to any other wrestling show, this you could show them this pay-per-view, like just this part of the pay-per-view, but if you show them this match alone, you'll create so many new fucking fans, because that was like we've all been to All In, we've seen Stadium Stampede, and that's a really fun, obviously a cluster version of this, but that was the one time I was watching a match going, fuck, I wish I was there. I wanted to be in that moment in that arena when everyone realized Bodies was playing.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sean Ross Sapp, because he put that on Discord like twice throughout the day, because Sarah's on his Discord. You said you could put on Discord, let the bodies hit the floor, and I was like, that's a very specific thing to write.
Yeah.
So a couple of really there was so many fun, cool fucking moments, and there's apparently everyone's just fucking hurt after this. Like Nick Jackson went face first into the floor.
It was on that
Swanton off the top.
Swanton he did onto Hobbs, wasn't it?
Yeah, because they were at Nick like so quick as well.
Yeah,
there was a moment in the middle of the match where like within the space of like 30 seconds, the Bucks did that sort of like jump off the rope, springboard, power bomb to the outside through a table on Kenny.
And that looked insane. Like the coordination of that.
Then seconds later, the TK driver to
Shibata
on the floor, and I was like, aren't these two guys that like medically nearly died taking these bumps?
They sure are.
It's the New Japan way, clearly.
Shout out to Willow as well, who was like the MVP of part.
That bit was sickening.
With the padlock.
Yeah. I didn't like it.
That was upsetting.
But like when Hobbs was doing all the fucking having a spine buster party in the middle of the ring, and then Willow joins in, rips down the fucking pullover, and she's also got the big Black and Jack t-shirt on.
That was probably the loudest pop of the entire match. Yeah,
so good.
Also, just seeing women hit moves on men and men hitting moves on women makes me so fucking happy.
This is not network television. We can do whatever the fuck we
want. It was so good.
At least that means that like maybe Tony's coming around to it, because I know he wasn't a fan of it.
But then he just let Mox death rider Willow, so it's like, okay.
And everybody like fucking loved it. Like everyone was like, "Yeah, this is great."
I mean, based on what happened on Dynamite, I think we're close to getting Willow versus Gabe Kidd at some point. Some sicko's gonna book that.
Give me Willow versus Muta. Give me Willow versus just beating the shit out of Muta for like 10 minutes.
every day we get closer to Willow versus Brody King. My dream match.
But yeah, the music finally ended when I think Claudio big swung Mox into the speaker.
He swung Swerve into the speaker
into the one speaker that was powering the entire. I love the fucking nonsense they've come up with to stop the music playing, and then fucking Hobbs just trucks Claudio into those 3 boxes afterwards immediately.
Earlier in the day, Serpentico tweeted was hiding in those boxes.
Yeah,
and then he tweeted after the match, "I'm not okay."
Yeah, because he tweeted like dead early on saying no, I'm not going to be available to be used as a weapon in Anarchy in the Arena. And then he posted the picture of the boxes going and found the perfect hiding place. And then like when like Hobbs like bodied Claudio through it, he just like posted, "Oh shit."
It was, and you had Hobbs yeeting Yuta off the fucking top of the balcony onto a bunch of people. Kenny then doing a fucking moonsault afterwards, and the crowd going to Hobbs, "Your turn, Hobbs," and Hobbs is like, "Oh, fuck that shit."
Yeah.
So my only, and it's my fault, but my only like slight letdown when Gabe Kidd shows up and he starts like fucking around. We don't get Eddie Kingston, because obviously we played ourselves. He's not quite there. He's not quite ready.
Like I think I read somewhere, like basically, like when he broke it, he fucked his leg up in that match of Gabe. Right, he broke his leg, but he also tore his ACL. Yeah. So I think you were saying how he essentially had to heal his leg before he could even think about getting surgery on the ACL on his knee. Yeah. So I think that's why this is. Like, it could have been a year if it was just like the leg break, but like it's unfortunate that we didn't get Eddie, which would have been like the perfect kind of thing, capstone to this.
But we did get some interesting story bits because Hook comes out and he basically bodies Gabe Kidd, and then Joe was like, "Get in the ring, come on, get involved," and Hook just shakes his head and walks off.
That was so sad.
But I think
that's a Kenny hoodie.
Yeah,
that is a really fun like story wrinkle because it's like I assume it's going to be a jealousy thing of like you replaced me with Hobbs, like the fuck.
Yeah.
Like which could lead to like a fun either Hobbs versus Hook or Hook versus Joe, which would be a fucking banger of a match.
Again.
Yeah.
Last time it was fucking great.
Yeah, so like redoing that match at All In, all fucking here for.
What if Hook joins the Death Riders?
Oh, he's too baby.
But we didn't have Eddie King. So what we did have was a still very bloody Mark Briscoe.
Mark Briscoe evidently refused to go to the fucking medics or hospital. Comes out drenched still.
Comes out looking, to be fair, looking like Eddie Kingston did in the first.
I thought it was at one point. Like,
yeah.
Eddie Kingston's still fucking bloody from the last Anakin Arena.
But I think the first time you see him on camera, because he does like a cannonball off the stage. The first time you see him on camera, he's upside down. It's like, okay, here we go.
It's like all he was short of was like a can of gasoline. Like,
yeah.
That's just to go back. That sequence when Nick fucked his head up on the dive onto Kenny through the table. That entire sequence, the Bucks and Kenny and Swerve had, where like they were doing like the driver, and then Swerve followed that up with the house call, and then like the knee. Like that was fucking like it was just so immensely well timed.
Yeah. Haven't really spoke about Swerve, but he had a fucking great showing as well. Like Swerve just continues to prove. Like there was the bit where like with all the staple guns where
oh my god,
staple on his fucking tongue.
So Matt like staples Swerve, and Swerve just like laughs at him, and he's just like, "What you fucking what, mate?"
It's like though, like you'd think they'd fucking learn from like Blood and Guts, where like Swerve was just no selling the staple gun, laughing while Hangman had PTSD in the corner.
Then Swerve gets stapled on his tongue
by Marina.
Marina. My favorite bit of all that was when Eutychus runs towards Swerve, and Swerve just like shoots him with a staple gun, because like doesn't even look at him, just like boom, and just takes him down.
Mine was when Claudio popped him up for the uppercut, and as he was coming down, he just stapled him on top of his head.
Yeah.
Where then like,
so good.
Like, he does it to Yuta, he does it to Claudio, Nick
goes
to
Matt's
kick. Does it to Matt's dick, which is the funniest fucking thing. And then obviously Marina low blows him, and as you were saying, Ben, he staples Swerve's tongue. And I thought that was like, oh, that's evidently like a gimmick, right? She's not really stapled his tongue. End of the fucking match. Swerve sticks his tongue out, and the staple's dead fucking center in his tongue, and it's like, you fucking madman! How?
Yeah.
It's still there.
So, Swerve's deathmatch roots always shine through when he does shit like this.
Oh, I love
Beautiful.
it. I love it so much.
So then the end of the match, a couple of the faces basically lock the Death Riders in the back of the ambulance,
including Gabe Kidd, yeah.
Yeah, including Gabe Kidd. I love how Joe's just in there like a fucking octopus, just pulling them all in, just like it was great.
Cthulhu dragging them into the fucking darkness.
I wanted him to just stay in there with them and just batter them.
Well, there was the bit when Willow was like screaming at him, "Go, Joe, get out the ambulance!"
And then we end up with the Bucks basically left in the ring with, is it Kenny and Swerve?
Kenny and
they tried to do the EVP trigger with a mouthful of tacks into Kenny's face.
It looked like Kenny had swallowed a tack though, because like for the rest of the match he was like grabbing his throat, and I was like, oh, you defo swallowed a tack there. Like that was nasty.
Oh, another thing I want to shout out is the fucking Swerve and Willow doing the TK driver.
Yeah.
Yes. And Swerve with his answer threes all
before the show, one of the first things they did on the pre-show, Prince Nana was on talking about Anarchy in the Arena. Renee and RJ said, "Have you seen any of the weapons? Have you seen anything like that you think you can see that's going to be used?" And Nana just put his leg up so you could see the Swerve trainings, the answer throughs. And so I was like, "Oh, Swerve's got thumbtack shoes for later."
Oh, amazing!
Yeah,
and yes, he did have, and he hit the Swerve stomp with the thumbtacks on Nick Jackson.
Both of the Bucks, wasn't it? Or was it
no, it was onto one of them, because fucking Kenny
did
one-winged
angel off the stage
through a table that just happened to then explode out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Kenny's haunted by the fucking explosive death match with Marks, and anytime now there has to be a fucking explosion that's like three times bigger than necessary.
Yeah, so Kenny hits the one-winged angel on Matt through the table that explodes, and then like literally within a second or two later, Swerve hits the stomp with the thumbtacks on Nick's face.
So good.
And that's it. Swerve
Nick's face that was totally okay.
Nick's totally fine head that didn't suffer any trauma throughout the entire match.
Nope, not at all.
Probably my favourite Nick in the arena, I think, so far, just because of the sheer number of moving parts. Like, we haven't even talked at one point. Willow and Marina went into the back and like Marina got slammed through like a catering table.
Oh, and they fight
glass bottle to the face by Willow to Marina as well.
Yeah.
The thing is that
Shibata taking Yuta for a ride in a dust like that rolling cart
and just wrapping his leg in barbed wire and booting Yuta as hard as he could.
Look at Shibata, fucking no nonsense New Japan Shibata doing a fucking death match.
Like the head of
Shibata not having.
Well, he used to train the young lions in America, and now he's doing this shit. So
head of LA Dojo.
I think the thing is as well, everybody else had like sort of like special gear, and Shibata still just came out looking fucking so normal.
Shibata's not changed his gear in 20 years. That man started in little black trunks, and he will finish in little black trunks.
Yeah. With that glass spot as well with Willow and Marina, like, even if that was sugar glass, she hit her so fucking hard with that anyway that it would have hurt even if it was fake glass.
I don't think it was sugar glass.
No, me neither.
Yeah, I love as well Marina, like when they came brawling out, Marina just had a fucking frying pan. Was just like wailing on Willow.
Where did that come from?
And Marina looked great. Like, so Marina's not had a lot to do in AEW. Like, well, she's just been like holding Mox's briefcase for like the last year, but she looked like an absolute killer in this match. She looked really good. She looked really dangerous.
Her.
Yeah,
I think everyone who isn't like obviously like Kenny, the Bucks, Swerve, they're all going to come out of this looking great because like they're obviously like the big names, right? But like Hobbs came out looking like the biggest beast AEW ever fucking produced. Willow comes out of this looking amazing. Marina looked great. Kid, everyone came out of this looking like $1,000. Like no one came out of this looking bad. Like this, you could not have put these people more over. Like this, if this isn't one of the match of the years by the end of the year, I'm going to be shocked. Like this feels like it's my match of the year already.
But before we move on, can I just read out the full? Because we've talked about them, we didn't actually read out the participants. Just think about these names as I read them out. Kenny Omega, Swerve Strickland, Willow Nightingale, Samoa Joe, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Katsuyori Shibata on one team.
Yeah.
Versus John Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, Marina Shafir, Wheeler Yuta, Matt Jackson, and Nick Jackson on the other team.
Not including Gabe Kidd and also then Mark Briscoe.
Yeah, and then we had Gabe Kidd, Mark Briscoe, and a bit of Hook as well.
A bit of and Nana as well. Like that is
Prince Nana. Yeah. What a fucking star-studded clusterfuck of a match. Like I loved it. I loved every second of it.
Yeah.
Like the fact that they've put this on solidly every year, and every year it's gotten better. Like this is. Double or Nothing and Anarchy in the Arena is like now like a huge like specialty. So, like if you don't watch AEW, watch the show for this match.
Yeah.
Like it is their to have like to quote unquote the Fed's big four, right? This is theirs. Like this is their Royal Rumble at this point. This is their like Money in the Bank. This is their massive fucking thing that you go out of your way to fucking watch.
Yeah.
100%.
And it's not something you'll find in any other wrestling promotion in the entire
world. No, not at all.
Yeah, because it just hits that perfect crossroads of silly and obscenely violent.
It's as you were saying earlier, it's going back to their smorgasbord of wrestling, the variety show wrestling roots. Like that's when AEW was on its best when it was first starting, when it was like a proper fucking variety show. And it's like that again. Like you get lucha wrestling, you get deathmatch wrestling, you get technical wrestling, you get the main event that we saw, the storytelling, you get bangers of women's wrestling, you get women's hardcore.
Sorry, mate, AEW doesn't tell stories. Sorry.
Just sells t-shirts. Just sells t-shirts. That's all it does.
Well, so moving on then, a match that at this point I just didn't want at all. It was at this point it was like coming up to like 4:45 or something, or like it had gone 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
I'd forgotten that this match was on.
Yeah, well, this was like it must have really sucked. So not only does Roddy Strong just see his wife get murdered, he then has to go and follow this match. So this was Don Callis' family, Takeshita, Fletcher, and Josh, and it wasn't even like a bad match. This is like Takeshita, Kyle Fletcher, and Josh. Really they took Takeshita, Fletcher, and Alexander and put them in the piss break match.
This was
that's how stacked this card was.
Like if this had been like, because the past couple of weeks now we've had I think most Dynamites the last couple of weeks have had a essentially an old school PWG trios match, like party fun trios match. That happened the last couple of weeks now. This very much felt in that vein where if this was on Dynamite, it would be the match people would be fucking raving about. Like this would be your amazing opener or your great finish to a show. And as you said, it's in the cool down spot between Anarchy and the main event.
This was like the bowl of gruel that you had to get through before you could have your pudding, which was the main event match.
It's keeping with the tradition in AEW of sending a guy called Adam out in a match that's going to be dying after like the match of the night.
One thing I will say for it,
it's really good.
Instant props from me. End of Heartache.
Yes.
Love that. Even though we did cut it short for Adam Cole's music, but it's fine. Adam Cole, he just has no luck, does he? He just has to, he must have been having a nervous breakdown watching anything in the arena, thinking, oh, fuck, what have I got to do here? So I said on Discord before this match started, I said, right, I want a tight 15 from this match. And you know what? They fucking understood the assignment because this match was over and out in under 13 minutes.
Despite Adam Cole nearly dying on a fucking head bump on the outside onto the fucking apron. Like,
that was on Dynamite, wasn't it?
Yeah,
was that Dynamite?
Yeah, Dynamite.
I'm getting my matches confused.
Yeah, that was just Kyle Fletcher just like trying to do an apron powerbomb and then just completely missing the fucking apron.
Fortunately, he missed it by enough so he didn't brain Adam Cole on the side of the apron.
Well, he did clip his head. But yeah, there was the insane spot in this match was Takeshita getting put in a chair and then Kyle O'Reilly like doing a run and drop kick off the apron onto Takeshita, which was just fucking insane.
Yeah, I mean, when I said like this match was at the piss break and this match was only 30 minutes, they still fucking swagged out.
Oh, it's so good. As you say, if this was on like a Dynamite or Collision, it would have been match of the night.
Yeah,
for sure.
But yeah, it's just nice to see Kyle and Roddy. It's nice to see Roderick Strong still fucking rocking out at like this point in his career. It's fantastic.
I'd like to see Kyle and Roddy have a pop at the Hurt Syndicate. I think that would be a fun. That would be a fun.
Cole did say, didn't he? He did the same thing. He did start of the year. He said everyone's going to have gold by the end of the year.
So I could maybe see those, like if you do like a cluster at All In of like Hounds of Hell, Paragon, Hurt Syndicate. That's a great.
We could have another tag game thingy.
You could do it.
There's enough tag.
You could do a tag team casino gauntlet if you had a tag division.
We haven't had a tournament for like 3 weeks, so
it's June.
there is one in the process at the moment.
The next one starts this week, I know.
After the match, so Kyle picks up the win, and I feel like the building that we're gonna get Cole versus Kyle Fletcher All In.
We fucking had it on, but we had it the other night.
We had it last night on Dynamite, but also
I feel like give me Cole versus Takeshita immediately.
Yeah, I feel like we need Cole versus Josh Alexander at some point. Like,
just have him fight all of like the Don Callis family.
Do like a little like fight through, like where.
Yeah, I think we might. I think given the so on Dynamite there was like the TNT title match between Fletcher and Cole, ends in a smoz. Alexander DQs and trucks Cole. But Fletcher cuts a promo afterwards saying he didn't need the help. He doesn't need the help of anyone to beat Adam Cole.
They
possibly
Fletcher leaving the family, didn't he?
So do we potentially get Cole versus Fletcher in like a cage match or something? All In.
As I said to you last night, I think because Blood and Guts is going to be like a week or 2 weeks maybe before All In.
A Don Callis family Blood and Guts match.
I think it's going to be Don Callis family versus Paragon, Hounds of Hell and Ishii, based on what happened after the match. Because after the match we had the family attacking.
You mean versus Don Callis family versus the conglomeration?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what it is, isn't it?
The conglomerate Paragon. So
the conglomerate.
No, don't like that. Not like that at all. So after the match, the like Archer and RPG Vice come out to attack Paragon, and then Brody King, Ishii, and old bandy legs Tanahashi himself made the save.
That was upsetting.
I love that. Again, they said to go back from the Discord. They said Tanahashi's power walking to the ring. Like, no, he's trying to stop his body from exploding with every step he takes.
Oh my god!
The fact that a guy could literally in real life do a slow motion
sling blade.
Sling blade. There we go.
Tanahashi's frame rate dropped on the sling blade.
He did hit a sling blade. It was like 10 FPS.
Yeah.
Tanahashi the whole time looked like he was like walking on like the moon or something.
Oh, it was so bad. Someone said it looked like he's a toddler. It looks like he shit his pants, and that's how he walks.
Yeah,
This is the guy who pulled out a bang against Takeshita not that long ago.
I think that at Forbidden Door we need either Fletcher versus Tanahashi or Josh Alexander versus Tanahashi.
Oh, yeah.
I'd take Fletcher versus Tanahashi. Fletcher wins the TNT title, defends against Tanahashi at Forbidden Door. I'm all on that.
And just fucking truly retires Tanahashi, like for his own good.
Hasn't Tanahashi announced who he's facing in his retirement match, or teased it?
Haven't we already had his retirement match?
No, it's at Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah, it's retirement year this year.
Is it Naito? It's not Naito.
No, it's
Naito's
not Naito.
quit.
Naito's gone.
Yeah, there is no Naito.
Shibata, isn't it?
Naito's retired to spend his remaining years.
He won't be allowed to wrestle Shibata in Japan because Shibata won't get cleared.
I'm sure he said that though, didn't he?
He did.
Tanahashi and Goto are pushing for a Shibata match.
Yeah,
they could do that at Forbidden Door.
Shibata versus Goto would be fucking incredible.
Goto's desperate to defend the New Japan title against Shibata at Forbidden Door.
Have Shibata win it.
I want it so bad.
Funny.
Imagine.
Right, can we get to the fireworks factory?
Yes, we can.
Can we talk about this main event? The longest match on the card, longer than the match that had 12 people in it.
And rightly so.
Not by much though, to be fair, it was longer by like 1 minute.
By like a minute, yeah. But this match was just everything.
The openings alone, like people say that the Fed's like that's the show where you get the entrances. Fuck that nonsense. The entrances in this main event, holy shit! Like they could have not made these two feel bigger.
Hangman had no flames.
I was gonna say Hangman's was like understated, but it felt like a big show entrance.
It reminds me of the Dark Order entrance he had.
But it was in keeping with his sort of character arc. It's all about like humility now, isn't it? And sort of like accepting who he is and sort of being accountable for his actions. So this was a very understated. There was no pomp. There was no like even when he went even when he won, there was no like huge celebration. It was very muted. It was very sort of
but it was also so reminiscent of the ending. To jump straight to the fucking ending of this thing, when he leaves the ring, and there is a moment which is so reminiscent of when he just beat Swerve in the fucking cage match, and he does the double turn back and screams. This time he does the double turn back, and everyone's like, "Oh fuck!" But he goes down and shakes Will's hat. He has this fucking match, like it's incredible.
That was that was a beautiful callback because Will Ospreay brought it up. He said like you a woman screamed in terror when you tried to go back into the ring to hurt Swerve.
Hangman going back to help him up and shake his hand was a callback to Ospreay and Swerve from Forbidden Door.
When Swerve did it,
because Swerve did it to Ospreay at Forbidden Door. Because Ospreay then mentioned that on Dynamite the next night to Swerve, saying like,
"We are jumping so far ahead. Let's
then
we can talk about that."
Anyway,
there's so much lore. That's the problem with these matches. Is that like there's about 1 million callbacks.
The build up to this match was like so incredible, and like they had like 3, I think, really excellent in ring segments where they basically just talk to each other.
The video package they did before the match was fucking amazing. It was one of the best ones I think AEW have ever put together. Where like it's Hangman talking about like what it means to him and getting really emotional. It's Ospreay saying like this is my time. This is me like rising up. And it credit to AEW because it's so hard like in this day and age to have a main event where you genuinely can see either guy convincingly winning it and it being good for either guy to win.
Well, I mean, if you believe the sort of the leaked story, both guys wanted the other guy to win.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I love the fact that for me, this feels like the start of Will's heel turn because it's never going to be like he's going to feel in his head that it's never going to be his time.
This is another moment that's passed him by now. This is twice now that he's been in this position or like equivalent, and he's not been able to capitalize. He's not been able to take advantage, and it's almost like Don Callis basically. He just said Don Callis is right. Don Callis said to him, "Look, until you're willing to do what needs to be done, you're never going to be able to do it in these big moments."
And that was the story of this match going into it. Like when he was saying in the promo to Hanger, like if I can beat you, I know I can beat Mox, but until that point, I don't know because I don't know if this is against Hanger, the guy that literally hung John Moxley in a death match, like the guy that did what he did to Swerve Strickland in their cage match.
He did what needed to be done in that way.
and it was throughout this entire match, you had so many little references and nods to their past, to their progression, to their future. Like they both pulled out moves to their like mentors, AJ Styles to Chris Daniels. You had the nods.
I was so unwell. Like honestly,
they also did the moves of their rivals as well.
Yeah,
Hangman hit the one winged angel.
It was Ospreay hit the V trigger when they tried to go for the one wing, and then Hangman did with big pressure. And it was like, holy fucking shit, he did Swerve.
Swerve's gonna.
Oh my god!
Fucking like. I was catatonic at this
Swerve's
point.
gonna fucking kill Hangman.
He's
gonna actually murder him.
And Swerve liked the Instagram post as well when AEW like showed it. Swerve liked it, and I'm just like, oh my god.
There was that awesome spot on the outside where they're on the table and it just collapses, and then Hangman just gets up and does the Deadeye again anyway.
Yeah.
He's just like, yeah, you fucking have another one. There was like my favorite moment of the match was
that Styles clash off the apron was fucking horrifying as well.
That was awful. I hated that.
Because Hangman tucked his head, like when people fucking break the neck on it. It was like, what are you doing, you madman?
It looked like they both went face first into the floor, basically. Somehow, my favorite bit of the match was when Hangman was on the outside. Ospreay was like sort of holding himself up on the ropes, and like he almost like they looked at each other, and like Ospreay was like he backed himself. And he's like, I bet I can hit a blade you before you buckshot me. And like he flips Hangman off, and then they both like meet in the middle, and Hangman just fucking cleans his clock, like absolutely rings it out.
Hangman could have won then. Like that was like shocking.
Again, there was that was a callback to Ospreay and Danielson, and someone who Hangman has beaten twice. So there was this reoccurring thing that everyone who's important that Ospreay's lost against, or sorry, that Ospreay's beaten, Hangman's also beaten them twice, and it was just awesome. Like that final buckshot was like. I thought he was going to kill Ospreay with it.
It was cataclysmic, wasn't it? It was like,
because like going back to your point, Jay, as well. Like even Kenny beating Will. Well, Hangman beat Kenny. Even Will beating Kenny. Hangman beat Kenny, but it was for the belt. I'm in my feels about this match, and Jay's going to have to deal with it for the next month.
These two are these two, plus I think Swerve, are your main characters of AEW. Like Hangman has been the main character of AEW, the heart and soul of AEW for like the last 6 years now. But Ospreay has very quickly got there, and to kind of get onto what happens on Dynamite, Swerve is the third. Like those three are the future, the present. Like they are AEW. They are the guys who
in a world where like Kenny's closer to the end of his career than a lot of people probably think. Mox is probably closer to the end of his career than a lot of people think. Where you've got these big names that are going to be stepping away from like full-time wrestling in the next few years.
Those three are your blood. Yeah. They bleed. They sweat. They have tears over this company, and you can feel it the way Hangman talks about it. You can feel it in the way Ospreay's kind of gone about being there since he's joined, and Swerve's made himself off the back of it's just the three of them together.
Swerve is like a living example of if you just come into a company and you just be a team player and you just put the company on your back when you need to and do what's asked of you and just follow the rules, and you'll get look at what will happen to you. All right, you've got to be really good at what you do, but if you do all that and you're really good, you get it takes you all the way to the top.
On that other note, though, of Kenny being at the end of his career, I love the fact that at any point during Hangman's run or in between, like whatever, Kenny could just surprise motherfucker everyone and be like, right, I'm in this title picture now. And he'd slot it into the story, which I think is great.
He's in that like Bryan Danielson like final verse of his career now, where it's like, I'm just going to go out with bang, like absolutely screaming with like mad matches, like for as long as we can go. But yeah, Ospreay has, we somehow didn't put him as wrestler of the year last year, but if you don't think Will Ospreay is one of the best wrestlers in the universe, then you're not watching wrestling with both your eyes. I don't care what you say.
I got news for you, buddy. He ain't getting wrestler of the year this year either.
No.
Hangman wins that title. It's
fucking Hanger or Tony Storm, the way things are going.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just an embarrassment of riches that Will Ospreay isn't even the guy. is insanity, isn't it? Yeah. Like when you think about it.
Yeah. So
he's like, he is the guy, but then Hanger is capital the guy. Like,
yeah,
he's the cowboy.
Like, I love Will Ospreay. I think he's one of the most entertaining in-ring performers I've ever seen. But every fiber of my being wanted Hangman to win.
yeah, like the moment Ospreay wins the AEW World Title, I will be in tears. Like, I followed that guy's journey from the fucking get-go. Like, I'm gonna be so happy for him. But fuck, do I love Hanger?
Hanger's the main character of AEW. So to kind of like sort of echo the point you were making about those three being like the three guys who are going to be around for years to come. All three of them are in their early 30s, so they've got at least probably like 10 years left.
At least
at this level.
At this level, I know Swerve talked about maybe not having that much longer left, but like they've all still got like bags of time, and then you look at... Oh, go on.
No, there you go, Joe.
I was going to say, then you look at, like, there's guys like Kyle Fletcher, MJF, Top Flight.
Adam Cole, Danny Garcia, like...
Well, I was going to say you were a bit more, like, younger. So Garcia would fall into that Utah. So not Adam Cole, because he's old as shit. But...
Bobby Fish.
Yeah, Bobby Fish, the youngest man.
Jay White's really young as well. And so's Darby. But he's also got a style that probably means he won't be going that much longer. But like it's insane that you've got all these guys who are like feel really established, who are gonna be there when like all these top guys like Kenny, like Mox, like I can't remember who else we just said. It doesn't matter anyway. Like all these guys who are like gonna be
the Bucks as well.
The Bucks, yeah. And the company's in good hands. You've got Takeshita, he's only just turned 30 as well. So
you've even got like Hook and like
Takeshita literally 30 today.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Takeshita. Please come and give me a kiss on the cheek.
Congratulations on his marriage to Yuka Sakazaki.
The perfect murder couple.
The cutest murder couple there is.
Yeah.
And their adorable pet dog as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Hanger is the right guy to dethrone Mox in the current situation. I feel like I said to you last night, Ollie, I felt like Jay White was being built for that position, and then he got hurt. But I think if Jay White would have been my pick, but I think Hangman's like makes the most sense from like the overall lore of AEW.
If he wins in Texas, it's going to be such a monumental occasion. It will be akin to when Danielson won the title at All In London, at Wembley. Like, it's going to be such a loud fucking reaction when Hangman wins that title, like he promised to do on Dynamite last night. He got a hell of a promo.
Swear's going to kill that man.
He almost fucking did. Like, Jesus Christ! Like,
Swear's going to kill that man.
Like, remember, Ospreay said to him, "No, if you beat me, I've got your back."
Yeah.
From here to All In.
So, like, if you've not seen the promo on Dynamite, like, Hanger comes out to start the show and cuts a really impassioned promo about what it means to have won the title, but triumph is fleeting, and he's now got a conscience. Like, he hands back the Owen title belt to Giovanni, says he's now got to focus on the next thing, which is winning back the title that we've not seen for the last 7 months, the thing he's not been close to for the last 3 years. Like, it's such an amazing promo. Kind of again, like he started off by saying, talking about triumph. Fun fact: his old entrance music is Ghost Town Triumph. He's bringing that bad boy back at the fucking All In, calling it now. But then Swerve comes out.
Don't take my Chapel Roan related dreams away from me.
Let
me have that.
No, I recently saw the Chapel Roan Pink Pony Club video package for Hangman. Fuck me, that's amazing. But
the reason that I know Chapel Roan is because of Hangman, because it used to be on his Anxious Millennial Cowboy playlist on Spotify.
That's incredible. But Swerve comes out to confront Hanger in last night's Dynamite, and it's the best thing. Like,
I haven't watched Dynamite yet. Now I'm so excited.
Watch it. Like, he comes down and like
Swerve's got to kill that man.
He nearly did.
Beautiful.
Like, so Swerve comes down and he's like, he's running around in his head and he's happy. He saw he's winning the title, but he goes back to Dynasty, right? And there's a reason he's out here is because he shows a video of the book saying that they helped Hanger by stopping Swerve winning at Dynasty, and Swerve's like, I didn't really think about it at the time, but now you've won the title and it cleared your way to win this. So like, now I've got to ask, were you in cahoots of those guys? Was it all a fucking, were you all in on this together to stop me from having the title? And Hanger's like, no, you dumbass, how could you think that of me? and like they start going into each other, and then Osprey comes down and tries to break the two up, and goes to Swerve like, "Buddy, I love you, but you've got to get it in your head. It wasn't me. It wasn't you then, but it is that guy," pointing to Hanger, and Swerve just goes off saying essentially, "No, never. I will not support that guy." Leaves the ring. Will's like to Hanger, "Come on, stop it." And Hanger's like, "How dare you? I can't trust that guy." He leaves the ring.
There was that bit as well though where Hangman admitted to Swerve that he was going to help Swerve.
Yeah.
He said
Like-
he said for one godforsaken moment, I looked at you and then I looked at John Moxley and I made my decision to help you.
Like
And then-
it is, you need to go out of your way to watch that promo, because those three are going to be the story leading into All In. Like, can those three work together? Can Swerve get onto Hanger's side? Can Hanger convince? Like, oh my, I cannot. And you've also got Kenny, who was also kind of floating around this. Like, it's watch that promo. The start of Dynamite is amazing.
I would love it if Hangman beats Mox and as he's in the ring celebrating, Swerve just surprise motherfuckers him with a house call. And that's how we end All In. It's like, oh yeah.
But like, I can see a world where All In is Hanger versus Mox. There's a big fucking kerfuffle, and it's Swerve, similar to when the Bucks nodded at Hanger when Hanger took down Kenny. There is a moment where Swerve nods to Hanger as Hanger beats him.
Ollie, you're not allowed to say this shit around Faye, whether this is
We've got to fucking deal with Faye's conspiracy theories for like the next couple of weeks now. You've said that.
Go watch that promo, because it looks real fun, like what they're building towards. And I might have seen some spoilers for Collision. I'm just going to say watch Collision this week.
I'm very excited for Collision this week because it's got Hetch's hair on it. That was my selling point. But yeah, that was Double or Nothing. I almost said All Out then for some reason.
What are we going out of 10, everyone?
I'd give it a solid 9.
Easy, solid 9.
I'm giving it a 10 because Hangman won.
Like,
yeah, I'll echo 9. Yeah,
I could have done without the tag title match on there. And just looking at what else was on there.
You know what? No, I'm going 10. I'm going 10 for Drowning Pool.
Hangman won.
Oh,
yeah. Like it. Yeah, like technically solid 9, but emotionally fucking 10 out of 10.
Oh yeah. For Hangman winning, it's 10.
Drowning Pool out of 10.
A big pile of bodies out.
So you're giving it 4 nothing wrong with me out of 10.
Yeah. Hangman did nothing wrong.
I'll go 10. Bodies played. Hangman won.
Hangman burnt a man's house down.
No,
he did do something wrong.
Hangman did nothing wrong.
He burnt a man's house. He did arson.
Hangman did nothing wrong.
Arson's a crime, Faye.
Before we go, should we have a quick update from Ollie regarding exciting things in Liverpool?
Yes. So exciting things in Liverpool. I mean, it's obviously Liverpool games are there Saturday, July 9th. Get your tickets now whilst they are selling very quickly. As I said,
you've had some new announcements since the last we spoke, haven't you?
Yeah, so we've had Nerd Mentality announced, who are an amazing comedy duo of Mary Martin and Joe Mayo. They've been performing massively at the Fringe over the last year. I know Joe Mayo's doing stuff at UK Games Expo this weekend. If you're going, go check that out.
That's on right now.
Yes, it is on right now. So go, if you're at Games Expo, do go check out Joe Mayo doing their show as well. We are also literally 9/10 of announcing what the headlining act is going to be. All I'm going to say is, you're a fan of Blood on the Clock Tower, you're going to have a fucking riot of a time, as what the main event, as what our headlining act is going to be. But yeah, no, tickets are on sale now. Saturday, July 19th, Liverpool Games Expo. Buy your ticket. By Liverpool Games Fair, buy your tickets, because it's going to be an amazing day. We've got a bunch of RPGs and a bunch of games of Clock Tower going to go up in the next week or so to be booked. So if you've got your tickets, you can book yourselves onto a bunch of tabletop RPGs provided by the Manchester Rainbow Dragons, an amazing queer TTRPG community who are helping support us. We've also got a bunch of games that arrive from Ravensburger, the company behind Gloomies, Lorcana, Villainous. They've sent us a bunch of games that will be given away over the course of the day as well. Buy tickets. It's going to be an amazing day.
It's going to be so good.
And you get to kill all of us at Clock Tower.
Yeah.
100%.
If you like your Blood in the Clock Tower, there'll be plenty of games of Blood in the Clock Tower.
Yeah, I will be probably at most of them. At least 5 of them games.
Before we do go, just want to very quickly shout out. But this will go before the weekend.
It will.
Mystery Wrestling is on Sunday.
It is. It is.
Loser leaves Mystery Wrestling. London Lightning versus Cecil Nix.
The
Ass Blasters explode.
I'm not emotionally ready for the demise of the Ass Blasters.
Please watch it. It's free on Twitch. It finishes
and YouTube. This time.
On YouTube. It's fine on YouTube. It's going to be Simon Miller. We're going to be wrestling. The Hot Dog Dude is on commentary.
Top Dog Franklin Mayer on commentary.
Yeah. He survived the cocaine bear. It's fine.
He did survive getting killed by a cocaine bear. And also the Roast of Mystery Wrestling.
Can we also give a shout out to Atomic for the show that we went to?
We can. We'll probably be doing a review of that next week, which I was going to mention to you after we'd finished recording.
I'm so down for that.
Yeah, that was really good.
You want to see a super speed through of it? There's a video that they've posted on TikTok, which is just a really sped up version of the entire show.
Nice.
it's like under 2 minutes.
And if you want to see a body slam, watch Mystery Wrestling.
Yeah.
You want to see a body slam? Look the one that Josh Kemper did to Rob Drake at Atomic. It's on his TikTok.
No, thank you. Mystery Wrestling is 10 p.m. UK time, whatever that is in American and Canadian time. I think it's like 5 Eastern. That'll be on Evil Uno's YouTube and Twitch. They're my favorite wrestling promotion, so check them out.
If you watch it on Twitch as well, when it comes to the break, the commentators just sit and talk.
Yeah.
To the chat. It's
do
great.
Q&As.
Except for John Silver, who just went to the bar.
Yeah. John Silver went to get a hot dog and then realised he wouldn't have 15 minutes to eat a hot dog, so he just got 2 beers instead.
Yeah. And RJ City, when he did it, just went to sell merch.
Yeah. It's very fun. I'm really looking forward to it. And we'll probably bundle that in with an Atomic review next week and something else when I can remember what else.
I'm so down for that.
What else we've got to talk about? But yeah, anything else we need to plug to wrap it up, or?
No, I think we're all good. Yeah, buy tickets for Liverpool games. It's going to be great. Yes. I'll stick.
Watch our review of Wrestling with Shadows, because that was super fun.
It was. We've already sort of planned the next one for that, which we need to discuss after we've recorded this as well. But yeah, thanks for joining us, and we will see you on the next one. Bye.
Bye.